Blue Tick, Serious Banter, Mr. Dego Dan in town, you get me? Big up the sponsors, Blue Rum, all day, done no, go check them out. But yeah, boom. Happy 2024 to everybody. Hope everyone had a nice Christmas and that. End into a mad 2023 for a lot of people. I hope a lot of people find whatever they're looking for in 2024. Happiness, dream chasing, whatever. I hope you get to the bag, you get it? But all right, cool. So today we have no Bugsy, as you can see. Bug's not too well, but yeah, big him up and I hope that he gets better soon. You know what I mean? But yeah, today's topic, I want to talk about something that's a bit close to home. It's amongst the pairs that I'm around. You get me? And that is the whole bunning situation, bunning weed, whatever you call it, ganjas, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So as we're coming into a new year, there's a lot of people that are having like New Year's resolutions and so forth. And just by what I hear around me, I know that kicking, smoking, or bunning is at the top of the list, right? So yeah, I hope everyone that has this as their New Year's resolution can come through it and not drop off. Do you get me? Because I know how it feels to, you get me, do this thing. But I have got brethren, I must say this, I've got brethren who like started like giving up for their New Year's resolution, and today is the 8th, and they be bunning again. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, they jump in my car and I can smell it, and I'm like, yo, have you been bunning again? And the man says, boy, not really like that still. A man's telling you about only sometimes. So me myself, I've been there. Do you get me? I could tell you, like, only up to last year I was smoking. So early last year I decided to kick smoking. It wasn't something I planned for. So I took my kids away on holiday. When I was away on holiday, I was bunning, doing my thing, and it's like I came home, and my like for this thing wasn't there anymore. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, it's like I just don't know what happened. I couldn't tell you. But one thing I will say is, I believe your mind and your body has to be ready at the same time. Because previous to that, I've tried to stop smoking, wanted to stop smoking. I've lasted sometimes a month, 2 months. Sometimes I've lasted a day. You get me? By 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't sleep. I'm saying, yo, where's my herb? I need my herb. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, only up to last year, as I said, early last year, I remember myself being around the man them, being at the bar, being in certain places, and like obviously man was bunning, but when I'm bunning, it hasn't got the same feel. Like bunning became boring to me, you get me? So I remember one specific night, we're out drinking and smoking, and I just fell out of love with it. Like I just said, fuck this, you get me? So I remember I had some weed on me, I've given my weed away, and the man am asking, are you sure you want to do this? And I'm saying, yeah. Man said, boy, once you give me the weed, you know, you can't ask for it back, you get me? And I said to myself, yeah, nah, cool, take it. So what happened, kicked that, and then I kind of had some link for these little weed pens and that, started penning, and at first it was all right, the flavor was all right. And then after about a week or something, I fucked them off as well. I said, I can't take this, you get me? So I'm around, man, I've ended up giving out my pens, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, yeah, and people around me, obviously, like you'll get the people that are like fucked up in it. So they'll be talking about, I know you're going to be bunning again and all of this stuff. But I'm a strong-headed person in it. So I stuck to what I believed in, you get me? But yeah, it was so bad, right? That like there was people around me that were like this caused an argument with one of my brethren. You get me? Cause my brethren's bucked me one day and he's saying, yo, I've stopped bunning like you know. I'm saying, don't lie. He's saying, yeah. I'm saying, when have you stopped bunning? Like, when did you stop bunning? He's like, boy, like Tuesday. And these times it's like a Thursday. You get me? I'm saying, brother, you still bun. A man's like, nah, I don't bun no more. big commotion going on, you get me? So I'm saying to him, boom. So what one is like, listen, I've got a ready rolled spliff in my hand, yeah? Like in my bag, you get me? Look, it's pre-rolled. Whereas I'm saying to him, why have you got a pre-rolled spliff in your bag if you stop bunning? Yeah? Big argument started. But at the time, obviously, when I'm having a drink, I'm smoking cigarettes, you get me? So a man starts calling me a faggot. You're just a faggot. You can't tell me nothing, you get me? So big commotions happened. And it's like, it's mad because smoking is a hard thing to kick. Yeah. As I've said, like people that bun, viewers that know, you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. One of the hardest things. And you got to realize weed is not like it's not an upper drug. It's more of a downer. So I suppose it has the same sort of feeling as bunning heroin. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's a chilling drug. You get what I'm trying to say? It's a mellow drug in it. So it's something that you can do when you're on your own. Like you can't really do speed and them things there on your own. Not that I've done it, but I've seen people on it. Like MD, you'll never buck a man in his house listening to reggae and taking MD. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So weed is that drug in it. Like you finish eating, you wanna bun. You might bun before you start eating to open your appetite. You're chilling with your gal, you're bunning. You finish eating. It's like, it's crazy, yeah? Like, a man in the background saying, this is how mad it is, yeah? You need weed to open your appetite. Because what you got to realize, certain man, it affects people differently. So, like, weed is actually a mad addiction. Like, and I don't believe it's 100% the weed, but it's just the way we prepare our weed. We mix it with the tobacco. The tobacco is a big addictive substance. Boom, boom, boom. You get me? So what I will say about this is that yeah, everyone who knows, innit? Because when I was growing up, right, I remember like there was certain men around me, family members, friends, they would look at me down, they would look down at man and me and my brethren and say, like, yo, we don't want no bunners in our crew. We don't want to be around bunners, you get me? And you see right now, they bun. They all bun. All of the man that was saying to me, they don't want this, they bun right now. Yeah. So from a young age, obviously, I started bunning young. And I will say this about this whole weed thing, yeah. Like from when you start off bunning weed, it's not something you like straight away. Okay. So you would have had to have couple little mini YEs or couple mad feelings before you start liking it. Like I remember the first time I started bunning. I took 2 pulls out of the ashtray. It was my uncle's spliff. Took 2 pulls and I felt sick. Yeah. And I said, I'm never doing this again. Yeah. So it's a bit like a drunken night, in it, when you say you'll never do it again, but you do. And I remember, boom, this has happened again. And it's got to happen. It might have happened about 4 or 5 times before I started liking smoking weed. You get me? So, yeah, I used to have my older cousins look down at me. Yo, you're just bunning, rare. Man will never be addicted to nothing. Rare. And like one of my cousins specifically, he's gone and got a girl that buns. So his girlfriend's a bunner, you get me? And obviously, you might be chilling in bed with your girl at night and your girl's a bunner. And she just says, oh, babe, take 2 pulls, you get me? So that's how his journey started. He started taking 2 pulls here and there, boom, boom, boom. Now he's a full-time bunner. Yeah? I've left them man there bunning. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's a mad situation still, but as I say, weed affects people differently. You'll get like you have 2 type of bunners. Yeah. So you have the man that can bun and he can function. So he might bun a spliff, get up, go to work, you know, pick up his kids from school. You know what I mean? Like you have functioning bunners, and then you have man that smoke that can't even leave their house. Yeah, they can't dare to jump in their car and drive to the shop. They just, you get me? Bunning puts them into like a shell. You know what I mean? So I myself was a functioning bunner. So I used to get up, do my thing, bun, do my thing. But obviously, without my weed, my life just was, it was different. It was like an incompleteness. So you see, from when I used to wake up in the morning, before I even say my prayers to my almighty God, yeah, I used to reach for the ashtray, you get me? Or certain times I used to fall asleep with the spliff, like wake up and the spliff's in the bed, you know what I mean? So for me, I reckon it was like, it's a lot. You get what I'm trying to say? And as I said, anyone who buns, they can comment in the bottom and make me know how weed affected them. Do you know what I mean? Because I know it affects everyone differently.
I think weed for me,
Mm.
it's got some different type of demons in it, and it's a process, and it's the psyche behind weed, and also the growing up and not being able to be told no, right? So you can do what you want. So it's like rebellious type thing when they does it. You know what I mean? It's just it's a given.
Yeah, nah, it's a madness because I'll tell you one thing, yeah. Like
But I'm
I
smoking regardless. I smoke because not because I don't know it's gonna do me harm. You know, like I know it's not good for you. You can tell me all of the negative sides of it, but part of me saying I don't give a fuck is part of the reason
Yeah,
why.
weed is a I don't give a fuck type of thing though.
Yeah,
And you know, with weed, what it has a element of it of laziness, not wanting to do stuff. So you see, when you're a bunner, full-time bunner, everything you'll do tomorrow. Yeah. So you see, if you got something to do today and you've bun, you're like, hey, well, I'll do that later or I'll do it tomorrow. And that tomorrow never really comes because the next day you're bunning. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's crazy. Like, even just phoning, man, like, you see what it is for me? Yeah? I'll tell you what weed was for me. See, the addictive process of weed for me that I used to like was the phoning, man. Yeah. What have you got? A man might say to you, he's got some wedding cake and he's got some next thing, you get me? And like you'll be like, all right, hey, what I'll do, I'll take both of them. Yeah. So you just having a choice when you're bunning is a big thing, you get me? But also, what was a part of the addiction was even giving my money over to the man that I'm getting my, as sick as it sounds, yeah, like that was an addictive part of bunning for me. And then the billing of it, yeah,
the worst part, the best part.
that was the best part and the worst part, yeah, because I'm someone that if I used to roll out, I know man that's rolled out with like pre-rolled spliffs and that, yeah, but that weren't my thing. I always wanted to build my spliff. That was a part of my addiction. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you bill it, you get everything ready, boom, boom, back strap, rare, you understand? And then you just boom, light your thing now, and just everything just seems okay. You see, once you build your spliff and light your spliff, see whatever problems you had before, everything's just all right now. It's calm. It's not a big issue no more. We can get over this. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, we ain't gonna eat no food. Like it's mad. It's mad. Yeah. Like your mouth's dry. You ain't even prepared yourself. Like I remember my younger days of smoking weed, yeah. I was around certain brethren that see if you had your last £10, your last £10, you didn't think about where you was eating or your cigarettes, or you didn't care about all of that stuff. You had one £10, and that £10 was buying you your draw. Yeah, that was it. You didn't give a fuck about nothing else. Food, we worry about that. You know what? I'll smoke my belly full. That's how bad it was. You get what I'm trying to say? So, like, it's mad. It's a mad journey, man. Like, as I say, everyone, it affects everyone differently. And then you got to realize there's people who bond to get away from their problems. And it doesn't really get you away from your problem. It might make you sleep or it might make you forget about something for the minute. But you see, the moment you're split your weeds on its way to finishing, like you've got one more spliff left, your problems are coming back tenfold. Yeah? You start, if you see, if you ain't even got no money, you're gonna find money to get a draw. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, it's sick, you get me? So I must say, like, it's yeah, it's just a madness. And then when we were growing up, like there was only a certain selection of people that used to bun weed in it. So it was like more your peers. It was more like I can't just say. Obviously, I'm gonna talk from my experience. It was like my black brethrens on the ends that used to bun. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Uncles, even certain aunties, they used to bun, and it was more of a cultural thing. You get what I'm trying to say? And even when you were younger, you would accept a little Thai weed and little grades, and you get what I'm trying to say, a little kiki. And even if a man was, even if you got a mersh, you bun the mersh, and it was different.
Remember when seeds pop and they see a man
Rubbing out a mersh spliff and then bunning it, and it's just bare seeds popping. And you see one of man, you say to a man, what, you gone over a hump in it? Yeah, like you go over a hump in a road car. See, once you start bunning and you start popping them seeds, you leave a very nasty smell in your surroundings. You get what I'm trying to say? So a man used to know, like, yo, my man over there's bunning shit weed. You get what I'm trying to say? He's got the shit weed and that, you know what I mean? So it's where it started, in it, where we were getting weed in like newspaper and brown paper bags and that, but we were still appreciating it. You get what I'm trying to say? And then moving forward in that, yeah, then moving forward in that, it was skunk. So yeah, that was like coming in the little button bags. Man will have their little laundry. Remember the little laundry bags and that the man used to have to keep down their balls with all the weed in it and that, just in case feds wanna come and tap man down and that. You get me? Yeah. And then it was like, so I remember like the first type of weed that man really bun, the skunk, the first skunk, yeah. That was
Let's call it like a super skunk.
no, it weren't a super skunk. It was a cheese and a Dutch.
Some,
Yeah?
they called it Dutch.
Yeah. Hard ass version come, you get me? That was horrible. Like you're trying to ash your spliff, your ash ain't going nowhere, you get me? But it was a Dutch that man really first started smoking on. And then obviously, like the cheeses, they came in like the blue cheese, they had a thing called the Birmingham blue cheese, you get me? That was sick, you understand? But the cheese kind of used to hurt my stomach, yeah. That was before the lemon though. So the lemon, yeah. But the cheese used to hurt my stomach. The cheese was it was pungent. The only one I used to like out of the cheeses was the Big Buddha and the Birmingham blue cheese, you get me? They were sick buds in that. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, come and, you get me, leave me a comment and make me know that you're part of that era, you get it? And then, yeah, it was 2 for 15 and that. You're getting cheese 2 for 15. Who remembers them 2 for 15, Josh? You know what I'm trying to say? Just see. So, and then after the cheese, we're gonna talk about so it was like the lemons.
The China weed as well.
The China weed was bullshit.
I know, but it had that lemon
Yeah, no, you see the China weed for me growing up, I never fucks with the China. Like but a man come and buck you and try to sell you a draw and you bust that open, you smell that, you're telling the man that's China. Man even had the name for it. It was just called China. Yeah, we don't want none of this China weed, you get me? But like the lemons and that was sick. And then I remember at one stage when I was younger, they came through with like purple haze. That was absolute bullshit. But I remember they were talking about like it's an American strain, American weed. Yeah, and Chew Purple Haze, the album come out, Dipset and that. Everyone was on Dipset back then, you get me? So we can't forget them days there. Shouts to Dipset and that, yeah? Like, man were really trying to do what these American youths were doing here. But we always knew to ourselves that English youths, we had better weed than the American youths, yeah? So we used to call their thing outdoor. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, man's thing was indoor. You get it? So Homegrown, homegrown thing. But you see more now though. More now you'll get a bad boy homegrown. But you see when we were youths, it was clean homegrown. So it never had no smell. We were all about the smell in it. Like the weed was getting sold through the smell because there was a time, yeah, where they started bringing in flavors. This was before Cali's and all of this. And you had like a pineapple.
And I was buying seeds from Dam.
Man were buying the seeds from Dam, you get me? But this is when Dam was the, like even 2011, you went Dam was the place to smoke, innit? Like, I still hear people saying that they go Dam now, but it will never be how it was then. Like for me, growing up or being older, the more modern best place to smoke was maybe Barcelona for me. Yeah. But I'm talking when we were younger, you know, like when you were so young, you know, when people used to travel to Jamaica to smoke weed. Do you remember that? Do you remember that, cuz? Like people used to associate going to Jamaica with bunning weed because that was one of the only places in the world where you could half bun comfortable. You knew you were gonna get weed. You get me? But yeah, man, like things have changed with this weed market moving forward in time. So anyway, I'm talking about the flavors, yeah. So I remember when they were using these flavor liquids, yeah, and spraying on the bud. Now you would remember when you used to brush the bud, you would feel the liquid on your fingers, smell the liquid. It was a pungent, maybe like a strawberry or a grape, or do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and it's like even younger, yeah. You see, when you're not a weed connoisseur, yeah, or you don't really know what weed is, just weed to you, yeah, you could get fucked, you know, because there was people that weren't growing weed correctly, yeah, that were getting bad batches of weed, not flushing it clean, and man were just bunning. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Bunning plant food. Yeah, you get bad throat, bad lungs, like it's mad. You get what I'm trying to say? Because to certain people, there was no differentiation of weed. Weed was just weed.
Do you want to know who would have bet? Right, so you see, like the stereotype, yeah? And I think it's all the black team. When the weed was getting better, it was the white boy choppers that were the ones that we
100%, because I would definitely agree with that. So
the old white man that had been chopping for one day
yes,
that knew what was.
yes.
So even though man was saying this is a community thing, actually when I checked who I was getting my bag for or where it was coming from, it was.
You got to realize this about a lot of the drug games, yeah. You see, the man that's up the top, he's very rarely a black man. Yeah? He's either a Chinaman, a white man, a Turkish man that would get in. I don't know about India, man, but they must have had their thing locked in their area. You get me? But it's always when it came to lower level and the smoking and the customers, the consumer was black. Do you understand me? So I will say that obviously when weed started to change in that, like you would get a man in Essex or in Kent that's had the mad grow. He put the mad grow on. He's dropped it to one of your brethren. Your brethren are saying, yo, this is sick. It's a homegrown. He will tell you this is a homegrown, but it's a sick one. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah? And yeah, there was a change in the weed, but the weed was still kind of the same. Yeah? Man had to learn. People had strains. People buying cuttings for like £3 a cut, £2.50 a cutting, and then they'll take it, try and do their own thing with it. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's the era where we're coming from, where you knew a man had a bad boy strain, you're buying cuttings of him and trying to do your own thing. You get what I'm trying to say? Now it's like, for me, obviously, that was the transitioning of weed. So people are still going to Jamaica. high grade was still a massive thing. Do you get it? People used to appreciate high grade back then. Yeah. Now, moving forward now, when we got a bit mad now, was like when a Benz was no longer a Benz. An eighth, you see, an eighth was no longer an eighth. You understand? That's when things started changing right there. You understand? So you spent £20 years ago, yeah, you was getting 3.5 grams of weed filled to the top of the bag. That was lasting you. Of good weed. Yeah? Yeah, you were spending a Benz. A Benz was, what was a Benz? 1.5. 1.5 was a Benz. So this is where we're coming from. And you're seeing if you're spending £10 and getting, you see if you're buying Mersh, you're getting a Q for a tenner. Yeah? That's how the Mersh game used to work. You get me? Like, don't get it twisted. Like, 3 grams out of that Q with sticks and seeds. You get me? But you was getting a Q for your tenner. And then I remember when red string was a thing as well. So the red string, the Thai weed. Like, man really got some really good Thai weeds back then, you know. Don't you ever get this thing twisted. Man can't write off the Thai weed. You get what I'm trying to say? So they would have a gold string Thai and a red string Thai. You get what I'm trying to say? And then obviously you used to get a man that used to try to use his head that might have they had a weed called Arizona. Yeah? And they used to wrap string around that. You get what I'm hey! You remember the thing, you get me? It's intertwined. But you see when the man's giving you the Arizona, just know it's just the outside. And you bust your thing and look inside, there was no red string. You get me? So you knew you got done over. But the Arizona, it was better than Mersh, but it weren't Thai weed, you understand? And then moving forward now, those weeds we still used to bun and enjoy though. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you see, if you didn't have a skunk back then and a man gave you a Thai weed spliff, you were grateful. Do you understand? And then when would I really say weed took a turn?
Accessibility. I think when the weed shops, the grow shops started popping up.
Yeah, you're right about that. So what started happening was now there was grow shops on every corner. Yeah? So that's when you knew cultivating was really going on right there. You get what I'm trying to say? And then not just the cultivating, you used to see them silver pipes just hanging out of a man's window. You get what I'm trying to say? And he's actually should just have all foil up outside of it. And you just knew to yourself, like you would walk past a yard and be like, raw, I can smell mad bud, you know. And you just knew, raw, my man over there, or this yard over there is doing it. Yeah, yeah. It was a big thing, you get me? So obviously everyone was growing though.
But you kind of you might see 4 plants.
Yeah. It was like people growing for their own personal usage, you get me? Which was really the smartest thing to be doing. Because if you knew how to, yeah, and then pass it on to a next man, you get me? So we had them days. And then obviously weed went from £20 a 3.5 and £10 a 1.5 to £10 a 1.2.
0.8, you stay there.
Nah, we're coming, 0.8s were a little bit later still, because I remember when a £10 draw ended up as 1 spliff. Yeah? And do you know what was mad about a £10 draw? You always knew to your £10 draw, you used to have a minimum of 4 big spliffs. Yeah?
£10 does 1 spliff now.
Do you understand? The £10 draw back then was a minimum of 4 proper size zoots. You get what I'm trying to say? Scuds, as we were calling it. Yo! This weed journey's been a madness, you know. 3.5s came to like a tree and mash, you get me? But what started happening, cause remember, like even when I was young and I was doing my little weed thing on the road and that, yeah. Not every time you used to weigh weed, you know. You used to look at the bag and say, that's enough. This is what my man's getting. You get what I'm trying to say now? I remember when I was younger, yeah, I used to have a brethren over like Peckham side, yeah. He always had the bad boy bud, right? But you know what he used to do from early, cuz? He would grind out the weed. So you're buying an 8 ball of grinded weed, but it was top weed.
Yeah.
He didn't even sell Benzes. Yeah? You know what I'm trying to say? So my man used to grind out the weed now. You see, obviously, if you are from the end, you'll know, obviously, like, he used to do like the old little Peckham ends, but my man used to live right behind Deptford Market. You get me? So you lot would know who I'm talking about. You get me? But he had the sickest weed at all times. You get me? And then boom, now moving forward, how did it change now? Because there was a next change before this whole Cali thing. So the weeds, okay, so it was a more of the Ami. It was an Ami thing after this. So it was Ami. There was a massive flood of Ami. There was Ami coming from Spain. There was Ami come. Do you remember, yeah? Once a year, right? Over the holiday periods, yeah, there was weeks where, remember, they stopped the trucks.
Always carnival. You can't get.
Always carnival. Yeah? You can't get no. And you know what? No one ever really clocked it from young, right? To obviously you'll get a certain man that will load up. Yeah? But there was always a drought. You used to hear the word, there's a drought. Yo, cuzzy, there's a drought. There's a drought. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, price gone up and we can't get this. And so that's when the truck drivers used to go on holiday. So this is where we used to import so much weed, yeah? And then we became the importers. We became sending the weed out. You get me? When people started growing, but we came to the Ami. So the Ami, when it first come, was my brethren. Yeah, it used to smoke clean. It more reminded me of a little grade type of thing. Do you understand? Taste wise and that. Yeah. Then you had the G13. Yeah, you see the G13, you had to go Amsterdam for that. So you buck a man on a, like I remember going Amsterdam and bucking a man from the end on a plane with his wife. It was his new wife at the time, and they were just going to Dam to bun. And they were going to bun the G13. Yeah? They were going for that weed. Because that is where this thing was originating from. You get me? And then obviously, when you go down though, you'll be trying their different. They would have like the shatter. They'll have bare different things. So man used to go to Bulldogs. Bulldog was going on with things, you get me? And I had a brethren that was running a pub in Dam at a time, yeah. And like there was nowhere in Dam where you can drink alcohol and bun at the same time.
You can, man.
No. So when I was going Dam, it was coffee shops. So you're drinking the pubs, but when you go and buy your bud, they weren't selling alcohol in that place at the same time. No. You can go and buy a hot chocolate, some cloppers. Remember them clopper chocolates and that? They're the things that man could get. You know what I'm trying to say?
Every shop, like that's how it's how we man that works in all the shop car. Everything's all in nick, like they got OCD, like all of the kids.
Yeah. 100. But when you're banning though, you need these stuff. You needed your hot chocolate because them times there, they were giving man the best weed, innit? So you get a man that will fly Dam, go and get a weed and that, the G13s and that, yeah? So
that's what changed the demand, innit? Like, is people having seen different more weed, innit? Like, so when you go down and you pick up a banana kush or something like that, and you're at home now, and you're like, right, like, I need what I was.
Yeah, 100%. But do you know at the same time, that's what kept people going to Dam. because it weren't just the bunning. Because you could obviously everyone was bringing back a little something from them, yeah, but it weren't the same experience. You see, bunning in a calf, illegally with other stoners from everywhere in the world, it's kind of a different feeling, innit? It made weed enjoyable. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Sociable, even though enough people that was in there weren't socializing. Cause after they bun their thing, they're just in their own little world and that. You get me?
So, you never really felt monged like that, though. That's a different.
But different.
Overdone it like it's what bare weed,
yeah. But do you know why you weren't overdoing it? Because it was expensive.
Well, yeah.
Yeah? You weren't paying the same prices as you was paying here. They're charging you by the gram. Yeah? So it wasn't a mongy experience. You best know what you're doing with your grams. You get me? So boom now. Yeah, so smoking weed on a social level out in places like that, that was sick, right? And then moving forward now, Ami lasted a while because we were getting some Ami from Spain and that, I remember, and we were comparing our team like, yo, this Ami is not good. You get me? So that lasted a while. And then Stardog and Cookies for me made a little entrance, yeah?
But that's like the episode where Ami became less of the everyday weed. You can go and find a Stardog.
You can go and find a Stardog and a Cookie. Now, out of the two of them, Cookies used to give me a bellyache. I used to love a dog. Yeah? I used to love bust. Was it the dog though? Because there was one that man will bust open and it had all the orange bits in it. Like the diesels, man. Because do you know what? Yeah, because we were still getting homegrown things. Man was still, before the Cali market took over this thing, yeah, man was still getting bad boy homegrown things. So you would even get a wedding cake. They had an English one of that. Grapefruit diesel. Yeah. The orange diesel. You see the orange diesel? Blood. Shouts out to one of my brethren, because you know who you are. He had the sickest orange diesel. Me, Bugsy, and Kebab were picking up this bud very regular. You see, as man got to their last 3 grams, man, I got to buy the next 3 grams because man didn't want it to finish. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's where the independent growers had their moment. And they were actually chopping off of their moment. No. They just needed to make sure that it was coming. What they were having could last them for a while until they were coming again. You get what I'm trying to say? Can't buy no Zs. There weren't no queues. There weren't even no queues for real, you know. It was bulls. It was just bulls. There was no queues, no Benzes, just bulls. Bulls made sense for them. You get what I'm trying to say? 8 bulls. Everyone knows he's a smoker here. So they weren't even 8 bulls though. They were 8 bulls. 2.5. But they were, yeah.
It was anything up to 3.5 between 2 grams.
So what was the price for that then? Were they charging 30s?
20. It was still £25. I think
25 to 30 pound, innit?
Yeah, and then the better the weed. That's £30 a new thing, like to like over the last maybe 5 years.
Yeah, because here what it is now, yeah? Money has gone up, right? So the 3.5 used to be £20. 10 years, 15 years later, the 3.5's £30. Makes sense.
Remember, you could buy an onion, yeah, for like
£130.
£90.
£90, yeah. £80. And you know what? The man that used to get the onions weren't paying no more than £50, £60 for an onion.
Nothing for them, you get me? And then you're talking about a man making £280, £300.
Yeah.
I remember when you had to, then the price went to £250. A man called it to man about 15 years ago. And this is the first time where a man bought a strawberry kush, vanilla kush. And
the kushies are sick as well, you know.
You get me? And they smell sick. So man had like 3 different kushes. And at that point, yeah, man's probably paying like, I don't know, 150 or something. He's like, bro, you're gonna see £200 heads in the cup of rare, and this is what his cousin's telling him, and I'm like, never.
They foresaw the market from early. You get me?
Man saying, you don't know,
and then they had a next thing called the silver haze. The silver, that was tough. Yeah. So
the whole people misbranding things.
Yeah, and then you had all the idiots that were just adding names to it. You just buck a man, and you'll be like, yo, what's this? You'll be like, coffee table. Like, raw, what coffee table? Yeah. No, 6 still. Yo, you spun on your bed. Like, what you bunning? I was bunning coffee table with it. I was like, blood, the man's add you on. You get what I'm trying to say? There were so many stupid names, right? And it didn't match the weed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, boom, now, I remember when I was bunning grade, yeah, there was, the sickest grade I've ever bun, yeah? Now, I'm talking maybe 2010, 11, yeah? There was a grade, yeah, brother, yeah, called coffee bean. No, brother. Yeah, but you see the way they used to chop it in little cubes. It used to come in little cubes. Brother, see, that for me has been the sickest grade I've ever done in my life, yeah. So boom now, then you'll get the man that were mislabeling the thing anyway. And then you get the man that used to try with the grade thing. So do you know what the man used to do with the grade? To try and do man over. Man used to press, mersh, and skunk together.
Yeah.
So we used to call it make-up weed. You get me? Man just made that up, you get me? But obviously, when you was like, it was 2, 3 in the morning, you used to have to go to Brixton there. Yeah, you used to take the makeup weed, you know what I'm trying to say, man. Cuss it when you're home, you get me? So boom now, yeah, so everyone's had their little time of growing. Everyone's doing their thing. England start making their own weed and them shit there. Like Harry houses are just getting kicked off every fucking day. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, man are losing their grows. It was a madness, yeah? And then, what year would you say
I think Cali really,
Cali came in?
I'm saying Cali right now, yeah. Like, it filled in.
All right, so
I'm saying because before COVID, no one was really. So
Cali came in about.
What, in the numbers and the amounts and different types?
No, because what used to happen, listen, there was a calf. There was a calf that man used to go to over east. Yeah? All right, upstairs there. Yeah? Now, they started this thing early. They were the leaders in this thing.
Was that 4 years ago?
No, it was about maybe 5 years ago.
That's not that long. What is it?
It could be even 6 years ago.
How old is man number anyway? Saying really? Now you know what? Because it could all be 10 years.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's not a joke.
When man first start smoking. Start smoking. So really.
Let me ask my man the question. Is Jep still up there?
It might be all 20 years ago.
Nah.
When the flavors started.
Yeah, that was the flavors. But you see, when the Cali thing come, remember, we gone now. We were moaning about spending this much for a 3-5, yeah? 3-5s went up to £120.
I've seen 3-5s.
Yeah, listen, I remember copying a 3-5 for £120, my G. Yeah? For the privilege. So you're going to this calf now. It was exclusive and that. Man will be like, yo, you'll be with a certain type of man, and they'll be like, yo, how we go to the calf? You go to the calf. You'll be up there bunning, but remember, your grams are expensive now. So you're billing, you're not doing the most. Man can't even ask you to taste your thing. It's not like that. You understand? Let me taste some of your split. Fuck that. I just spent £120 for this. I'm buying your own fucking meat. It got horrible. It weren't even sociable no more. Like you'll buck a man be like, yo, can we go to the cafe? And the next bedroom might be like, yo, I want to come to bed. Blood, you can't manage that. You're not coming. You don't know about these weeds yet. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Yeah, that was it. And then like the wedding cakes, the bad boy ones. The first time I've ever bun gelato 40 rare, yeah, and the 33. Yeah, their man will have. Their man was having what else was bait like the gelato thing. Blood, I've been through all of them. No, I don't remember that one. I remember like the zittles and that come later still, but I'm just telling you the ones that I remember, like the runts and the. But you see what the first one was, the gelato and it weren't the biscotti. The biscotti come later. Hey, biscotti's cold, you get me? So what started happening, you lot, right? You see the wheating, it really took a turn to the left, right? So it was like, it could really make you go broke. Because the weed was addictive. It had it had status to it. Yeah, you go somewhere, you're out in a crowd of people, you're blowing your smoke. Man are coming up to you that don't know you, brother. Tapping you like brother. Boy, you buddy. That is it. Yeah. Conversation starter. Yeah, it was a sick conversation starter. Like, yo, there's a boom, boom, boom. You get me? Like, why? What are you smoking? Man, like, blood, I'm smoking dog. I say not stay over there with your dog. You get what I'm trying to say? It was dangerous for the youths them and for the people them in the country that didn't have strong will, because you would be on. If you had that Cali shop on your block, you could turn broke in a second. Cause man, we're ending up going from spending £30 on weed to spending £120 on weed.
That's crack prices, bro.
That is crack prices, my brother.
Right. Man is acting like man are smoking.
And don't get it twisted. Man will fight like crackheads for their thing. Not me, but I've seen man have fallouts like, brother, I gave you one pull, you took two. That's it. It's on outside. No. Don't get it twisted. This ain't puff, puff, puff. This is puff and just inhale what you can. You get what I'm trying to say? Like it was a serious thing. So the Cali thing kind of shaped the weed market now, and in my eyes, it fucked it up. You get what I'm trying to say? Like obviously, man had enjoyment out of it and that, yeah. But when you really check the peas that man was spending on weed was absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, but that came a bit later because here what started happening, yeah? You would start refusing the weed like, yo, I've had that already, you know. And the man said, is it? Man started selling them in tins. Do you remember when you was getting them in tins? You had to bust the tin out. Remember, once you bust the tin, that's your budget. You can't be giving it back to a man and telling a man it ain't the tin. Yeah?
I kept wondering how man used to wait until...
You understand me? There was no way to smell it. It just had what it said on the tin. Man went through that period. You get it? I'm not going to lie, though. That was a sick time of smoking weed. That was good fucking weed, bro. But you see when you used to come to your last spliff at that, and you knew to yourself, it's either you go back to, it's either you go and get a cookie, or you go and spend your bread and go and get one of these. So a man started having them locally in the end. You get what I'm trying to say? A man will bucking you, but I bucked beer shit tins. I bought tins.
I went online and figured out how to buy the tins.
All right. So yeah, and then there's certain tins you were busting and the bottom was coming off. And you realize that's how they were getting the weed in the tin, you get me? So like, yeah, I bought a couple shit tins and that. And I said, I'm never going back to the tin thing. You get it? But it was still enjoyable. It was a type of weed that you wanted to bun. It was a type of weed that you wanted to bun on your own.
Of course. You wanted to appreciate it.
You didn't want to
opening a tin though. Just think about the process for you open up undo a plastic scandal bag to go from the presentation of your weed.
the presentation.
Because that's what's changed. It ain't got leaves in it. There's no
blood. No, but when you're busting it, it's glowing. It's like, yo, I'm your new brethren. My name's Gelato. It's like, don't like Gelato. Come, let me bust you up, man. You get me? And then, yeah, it was like, yeah, it was like, it was enjoyable, you know. Nah, it was enjoyable.
Wine tasting, yeah? I swear to you, you could probably, with the same euphoria, right?
Do the weed tasting thing.
And man just testing weed and smelling the weed and this one's matured or this has been, and I'm telling you, there would be a market.
And do you know what was sick as all about these weeds? See, if you bust them, but you weren't bunning them straight away, and you might have it in the tin for a day. Ooh, you see, when you bust back your tin in, the whole of your street can smell your weed in it. You get what I'm trying to say? And you see, even if you were trying to like swap a spliff with your brethren, Digis had to come out. You know that, right? Like, don't get it twisted. We're giving each other 0.5 or 0.8 for a 0.8. Don't you? And if it weren't that, don't even ask me. It was personal. We became very personal. It became a non-social thing anymore. Yeah, it became a non-social thing anymore. But yeah, then we came on to the whole Cali packs. Everyone clicked on. This is why you can't fuck with people, you know. People, just like our criminals, will find a way around feds and find a way around the government and the law. Yeah, people will find a way around things. So they realize, what's Clark? This is where the weed's coming from. Cool. Yeah, it's man. Boom, boom. You ask him, man, yo, man saying I'm going on holiday. Where you going? I'm going California. He come back, he had all the buds. Yeah?
Let me just be real. The hood should be their billionaires, yeah? Because I was taking their Bitcoin and buying weed in the Silk Road.
Yes.
To come back to sell drugs.
Yes.
But man, do you know how hard it was to get a Bitcoin in the
yeah, 100%.
To be able to then say
100%. Do you know how mad it was? You see, even in I know it's gone back up. It's gone back up. Let me tell you something. Do you know how much a Bitcoin started off at? 24p. And then it went up to £27. I remember my brethren saying to me, brother, just do Bitcoin. You want to get involved in it? Fuck that. It's all too big for me. I don't understand this. And then it just went mad. You get me? Mad. But listen though, like the weed journey's been nuts, you know, cuz. All to the point now that I've just fucked it off. Like I've had it, you know, when you've just done it, you've done it, innit? So you get me? And as I say, like, I thank God for allowing me to have the strength to ride it out, because I'm not one of them non-bunners that are like, yo, don't bun around me. Rare. You see, when certain people are on their journey, I will say this, like, being around weed smokers and the smell of weed is a massive trigger. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it will make your one bun again. I've got some of my brethren. I've got brethren that have stopped bunning since I stopped bunning. They stopped bunning about 10 times. And you never guess what? They bun now. Do you get it? So it's a mad thing. But yeah, man, you gotta be ready for this thing, you get me? But you can't put a date on it. You can't sit here and say, yeah, I'm gonna stop bunning next week after next. Okay, you see, as next week after next come, The closer you're getting to the day that you put up, that you're gonna stop, it's just gonna become harder. And obviously, a lot of it is like filling your time, your hours in a day. So, like, as a bunner, you might burn away 3, 4, 5 hours of the day. You're riding 5 hours in a bus. Yeah. See, when you got to start finding things to do with your time and that. And then a day feels like 2 days. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, anyway, you see, anyone who needs any like advice from me, any one-to-ones, I can talk you through this journey. Yeah. But you see, the first thing you got to do if you're an everyday bunner, you have to go through your cold turkey. Yeah. So you're going to have days when you're in your bed, sweating it out. This is the weed coming out of your system. Yeah. And unlike other drugs or alcohol, weed it can take up to 2 months to leave your system fully. Yeah. Because the weed lives in your fat cells. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So until that weed's out, you start feeling a bit different, but you're gonna go through your cold turkeys, and then you start dreaming again. I can't set this camera again, please. I need to start telling them about my dreams. You see when you start, been an hour already. I still got to do. Give me 5 more minutes. So you start dreaming again, yeah. Now you see my dreams right now. I won't lie to you, like they're sick, yeah. Like I've had experiences that I was speaking about earlier on where man, I've been dreaming. I've been dreaming. I've come out, like I've woke up to go toilet or to answer a phone. And I've been able to go back into my dream that I was dreaming on breakers. Don't ask me how it's done. Yeah. But it's like, it amazes me. It's like when I'm back in the dream, I'm like, yo, I'm back here again. You get me? Like, I've been on some sick holidays and that. Like, in these dreams and that. You get me? Like it is actually sick and that, yeah. But the way your life changes is nuts because your eating habits 100% change. So I put on 2 stones. Do you get me? From stop running to from running to stop running. Yeah. No, but it depends on what you're doing with the weight in it. Because I enjoy these 2 stones that I put on because you see the suck out face look and all of that stuff is not for me. And obviously, it affects people differently. So what I've come to realize, see, like red people get red eyes when they bun. You get me? Like, enough of my dark skinned brethren, them don't get that. Their eyes will stay white. But you see, man look nuts when they're bunning. You get what I'm trying to say? So the eating habits is mad. Sleeping habits are crazy. So at first, obviously, getting to bed at night, that can be an issue. Yeah. So you'll be up for hours, like, but you're just telling yourself, I'm not going to bun. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's something you can't force. I've realized this. You have to be 100% ready to stop bunning because every obstacle will come into your way if you plan to stop smoking this thing. So you'll have a family member that drops out, a close brethren that dies. You'll have a baby mother that pisses you off. You'll have a road rage that just turns nuts. You'll have a work colleague that pisses you off. You'll have a day where you understand me? There's something that will draw you back to this thing. Do you get it? But yeah, everything changes, man. Like it's mad. Like even when I first started bunning, like I didn't even really have a sex drive. I'm like, fuck that. You get me? Like, you get me? I miss my weed and that. You get me? Like, fuck pussy. You get what I'm trying to say? But it's mad. It's mad. Do you know what? You see, the next time I'm on here, I'm gonna have this conversation with someone who currently buns, right? And I'm gonna compare the difference to our lifestyles. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because it makes a significant difference. It really does. And obviously, like I tell you, I'm nearly a year into this thing, yeah. And I have no desires to go back. So I started realizing even me going to the cash machine to give my hard-earned money to a man for his product was a pussy or two. And when I stopped bunning and people really knew that I was serious about not bunning anymore. I've never had people offer me weed like how they offer me weed. Man even offer me cali spliffs and that. Like,
Anything to Brockman's.
yo, let me tell you something about certain places that we're from. People are fuck up. Yeah, because you see, if you didn't have bud when you were bunning, they're not offering you a thing. Yeah? See where they know that you're on a journey now. Man will buck you like, brother, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you want a cali sniffer, you want a sniffer. All that, you get what I'm trying to say? So it's different still. There's people who also they're just waiting to hear that you broke. Like, see when they buck you and they're like, yo, cuz, you're still not bunning? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, don't lie. Oh, see nothing, rare. They want to hear you say, blood, I'm bunning. Yeah, and then they're like, don't lie, you're just like me. Come, let's bun a spliff together. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's a mental one still, but anyone who needs any one-to-ones from me, just come and I'll talk you through this thing, man, because it can be done. And you can see the difference. Like, you become more compassionate. You're more thoughtful about people's feelings. Like, blood. You see, man that used to sell me bud, yeah? Yeah? I haven't heard from them for nearly a year. They don't give a fuck about me now. I could be dead. They don't give a shit. They just see me now and just say, wagwan. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'll give you a story. See, when I stopped bunning, posted it on my status once I was a month in here. One of my brethren who used to sell me bud looked at me and he said, brother, I am so happy for you, yeah. But I beg you stop promoting this because you're kind of fucking up my peace. And you know who you are, you get me? And it's like, yeah, man, these are the things that give you the kick to just want to do it more, you get me? So on that note, yeah, man, air same way. Just pray for me, you get me, that I stick to my journey. I know I'm done with weed anyway. It's not even fun for me no more. And I've realized, like, I say to myself, there's one common denominator that a lot of these youths that are going out there and doing crazy stuff, there's one thing that they all have in common right now. And it's that the fact that they're bunning and the level of weed they're bunning. So you see, even with us, when we talk about the transitioning of weed, we started off with bullshit weed and we were old enough to make our decisions whether we want to elevate to this next stuff, right? There's still some people that's never bun cali now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But you see, enough of these youths, they were born into this cali era. Yeah? And cali is like, what would you say the strength of it times normal bullshit weed is? 10 times the strength to what we started on. Yeah? So they're bunning, the start of their smoking journey is 10 times stronger than the Dutches that you heard us talk about, the cheeses that you heard us talk about. Their thing is, man are coming out of school, man are bunning gelato in school. Check that. How the fuck do you expect to learn anything? Man are bunning gelato in school. Huh? Biscottis and runts and... Come, give me some more names. Some zittles and some zoo and some zope and the wagyu and give me some names, blood. The they had the thing, the lemon mints. Yeah. The dirty Sprite. Lobster tail. Huh? All of these buds, you know. And then you see if you get a man that's really fucking But there's a man that had weed the other day that was white. Yeah, called it snowflake something. Yeah, it looked like it was dipped in sherbet or coke. Yeah, and a man saying it was safe to bun. Yeah, I'm saying, are you sure that's safe to bun? Because he's saying, yeah, I'm saying, good luck with that. You get me? And then you had the, what's his names now? What's the thing now? You got the next thing. Moon rocks and them shit there. You understand? There's a couple more names. And what names? Give me some more names before we come off air. There was the Zittles. There was the mints. There was the biscottis. I'm
trying to think of some of my favorites. What is my favorite?
Do you know how mad it is right now? We'd had man in such a state, man can't even remember their favorites. It was just like, I used to hear about people bunning shit, yeah? And one thing I heard someone say is that once you bun shit and you like it, you will chase that buzz for the rest of your life, yeah? Now, man have sat here and bun all of these buds, right? My favorite out of all of them has to be, mine's not. Mine like wedding cake. That to me is a sick bud. Like, see, when you're bunning the wedding cake and that, you could taste the icing. It was nuts. You get me? Nah, I hated grapefruit diesel. Smell of it was horrible. I hated it. Yeah, I hated that. Yeah, I hated that. What else did man used to get? The Zittles was nice. Sherbalato. Am I talking a madness? But there's just too many names to mention. But they really, 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 really took peas out of my pocket. You understand? And it's just like it's an era of fun that we've had, and I don't wish to have any more. I refuse to work a job and go and take my peas out of the cash machine to give a man for his product. I refuse to do that now. It's not fun for me no more. The buzzy feeling I didn't like. I didn't like the buzzy look. That man are bucking me. I just look half sleeping. Everyone knew I was buzzing. You get what I'm trying to say? So that was it. But yeah, man, as I said, whoever's on their 2024 journey, don't put no date to it. Yeah, just take it as it comes and just, yeah, man, just pray and cut and go through. You get me? But on that note, boom, you done know the thing already. Bigger than to the world and him girl. Blue tick. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave some comments in the comment section as we greatly appreciate you as a viewer. Do you get me? So big up yourself.